We're going to talk about SAP HCM US payroll, and I think that's what actually you're more interested into. Now, before we start with the session, let's have a quick round of introduction.
Okay.
And why don't you just tell something about yourself? I'm just your full name and your qualification and plus your career. I mean, I think that will be fine with me.
Yeah, actually, this is Harisha Mutiala. I have like 8 years of SAP HCM experience in different modules like organizational management, personal administration, travel management, and benefits. Yeah, and yeah, that's it.
All right. So 8 years of experience you have been working into SAP or that was into the core HR?
No, actually, all the 8 years, like I have been working in SAP HR only. First 1 or 2 years, I have been working on ABAP. Then after that, like I have like kind of techno-functional role I have been doing all along. Like
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so basically, like I used to implement enhancements and like implement the modules. Mainly, I worked on personal administration, organizational management, time management, and travel management. Yeah, basically,
Okay.
these are the modules I have mostly worked
All
on.
right. So, and your major focus is on your US payroll, and then apart from the schema, PCR, and benefit and the garnishment, right?
Yes, correct. Because
All right.
these are the modules I have not like extensively
All
worked.
right.
Yeah, so that's why I want to learn so that I can cope up with things here.
Sure, no problem, Harisha. And let me tell you about my background. My name is Ashish. I have a total 15 years of experience. And in SAP HCM, I have been working I've given almost like 12 years. And from last, and I was in Singapore. At present, I'm working as a manager, and I was in Singapore for 5 years.
Okay.
Working on all running the payroll for various country like US, India, Singapore, Malaysia, Thailand. These people they used to send me all these countries, so I used to run their payroll.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so that's my background. Of your. So let's start with the demo. Now,
Yeah,
in this, we're going to cover, your SAP HCM training, and we're going to talk about what about the course and introduction to SAP HCM. And at the last, if you have any question and answer session, you can ask me that time.
sure.
Now, these are the module that we're going to cover into your SAP and HCM training, and this will be specifically focusing on the US payroll. Now, the main topic it's going to be your organization management, personal administration, negative time management, and so as I'm also going to cover the positive time management, which will have your schema and and PCR for that also. I'm going to show you some part of it, like how we can run
Mm-hmm.
into your positive time management. Then we also going to talk about your payroll, and it will be focusing majorly on the US payroll. I mean, how to run the payroll, how to configure the payroll. Then we're going to talk about, what all wage type which has to be configured. What are the certain info type, which has to be taken into consideration. How their annual salary differs. What is a payroll program? So all those details we will discuss that in payroll. Recruitment, recruitment is just there's a two recruitment. One is a recruitment and another is a e-recruitment. So we're only going to focus on the recruitment. But however, it is not huge much by the organization. Even if some of the organization, what I've seen, even if they have implemented recruitment, but they don't go ahead and fully use that. The
Okay.
simple
Yeah.
reason it means, that they don't, the connection between from their SAP to any of the job portal, it is not there. However,
Yeah,
this
that's right.
facility, it
Mm.
is available in e-recruitment.
Okay.
All right. Then we will also focus on report. There are certain kind of a report, like you have your standard report, then you have a BI, those report, then
Mm.
you have a, a query report, SAP query report. So we're going to focus on that report also. How we can configure and if the standard report it is not. When majority of a report, when it comes to payroll, SAP already provides to you, so we don't need to bother much about the report unless and until the client they want in some different format, then it's a completely a different thing. But otherwise, in the majority of report is almost it's done by provided by the SAP. But then yes, we will also talk about the SAP query report. That's so that in case
Mm.
if you want to generate your own report, we can go ahead and generate your own report. Then PCR and schema, we're going to talk about even for the positive time management and even for the payroll also. Every country they have their own schema, and
Mhm.
preferably for the US you have the schema which is U00. And same thing we're going to talk about the PCR. We're going to talk about their operation and how to write the PCR, and so preferably a couple of PCR which I'll show you how to create it and how to incorporate that into your sub schema, and how that sub schema it will be incorporated to your main schema. Then we will also talk about garnishment. So we will focus on the garnishment, and so the last session, which I took for that was also for the US, person only.
Mhm.
And so I'm not sure how much you're aware about the garnishment, but that person was actually not aware about what is the garnishment. So garnishment is nothing. It's just that when you're working in a particular location, let's suppose you're working into New York, and you have taken up a loan of 20,000, 10,000 you have paid, and you got the another job and you moved out.
Mm.
So in this case, what happens? Bank waits for 1 month, 2 month, 3 months, and the individual has not paid his loan. So in that case, what the bank does it, through your social security number, they track you where you are, and then they approach to that organization, and from that organization to your this bank, there is a deal. Obviously the organization also informs to that individual, they sign on this whole contract. And now in this case, now individual is not alone. Now in this case, what happens, the corporate itself is not, they deduct some part of an amount and directly pay to the bank. So that's what actually your garnishment means. We'll discuss this more in detail once we start with the regular session. This is just a
Okay.
demo session, so I'm just telling you, all those topic and everything that we're going to cover. Then benefit, there's a lot of benefit, dental, medical, stock benefit options. So all those details we will discuss that during the benefit configuration.
Okay.
Now this is about the course, about all the course objective, prerequisite, and who should take up this course and what are the advantage of. See, there are various advantage of SAP HCM. The one, it is technical job. It is always better in terms of uh, we have your all these technical information and everything. So in that case, it is always better. It and plus your salary also gets double, sometimes even in triple, right? And if you're very good into payroll,
Yes.
so then payroll consultant are the more highly paid consultant in entire SAP.
Mhm.
So that's a and to put it front, let me put it, it's not easy. Let him, see, I train various people, and then that's where you realize that SAP, it is not the cup of tea for everybody.
Hmm.
So and then you have your training benefits and all, so we'll see that. Let's go ahead and see that. Now who can take up this course? Now since you're also coming from the same background, so no, this slide actually doesn't make any sense, but anybody
Yeah.
who is, right? So I mean, you're already into SAP Aarthi system, right? But anyway, anybody who's coming from core HR background or who are interested into making their career into R3 system, I have also trained people into SAP HCM. People coming from the security background, people coming from the finance background,
Okay.
and they getting into they want to learn their SAP, HCM. So all all those people have trained them. Then the major focus is on the payroll and your the time management process. This is your anybody from the PeopleSoft background, the Workday HCM consultant or HR domain recruiter graduates, anybody who's into the report analyst or the support staff, all these people they can take up their courses. Now, Aarthi system is actually, SAP is involved into all the industry, whether it is chemical, logistic, manufacturing, high end, or the mill products. So normally every industry, they have their, they are using their SAP Aarthi system, and SAP almost acquires 90% of the market share, which is a huge market share. What they capture. So, even while working in HR, you'll have a various different client and various industry experience.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
More or less, process remains the same, but somewhere their formula and everything, that differs. So that's what where you have to when you travel from one country to another country to for payroll related. That's where you actually have to focus on.
Mm.
Now, what is SAP? SAP is a system application and product in data processing, and this was started by four people in 1972 in Germany, and they were working for IBM. So while working for this, IBM, they got this idea, and that's how they started with SAP company. Now, many people, when it comes to SAP, they call it SAP. SAP is actually not the right. It's not a one word. You can see
Yes.
it's a combination of various word, right? So it's a system
Yeah.
application and products in data processing. So anybody, it's like, when they say SAP, it's like, the person is not coming from the background of SAP. Now, anybody who says SAP, that actually this person is from the background of SAP. And this is what, I check during my interview, how people, they
Mm-hmm.
actually pronounce, whether they call it as a SAP or they call it SAP. This is one thing which I check in my interview, when I take interview.
Okay.
Now, there are three architecture. I'm sure you are in a wrapper, so you're already aware about this. There's a presentation server, which is nothing, it's just your this server you have. Then you have an application server, and this application server, the server, this is a server, it's like which you actually going to use it. And then you have a database server. This database server, like for example, if I give some command here, and if I use, and in this case, if I go ahead and like you can see there's still, and there's also one SAP standard employee. So here you can see all these employee name and all these data, basic pay and other detail it is coming. How this is coming? Because his database is already maintained in the system, right? So it's coming
Mm.
from the database server. Now, these are the SAP methodology, and I'm not going to discuss that in detail. Probably once we start with the session, then I'll discuss that in detail. But
Yeah.
I'm just going to, talk about just the phases. So they are divided into five phases, which is a project preparation, blueprint, realization, final preparation, go live, and support. Your project preparation, it is only about, kind of a sales activity when where they they go ahead and bid for the project, and they calculate all the cost and everything, how many people will be involved, manager would be involved. And when they do all these calculation and everything, so that is the phase which is into the project preparation. Second phase, it is your blueprint. Blueprint is a phase where you take all the requirement and maintain into your documentation. So that is actually called, and it's also very important phase, because majority of the time, what happens, clients, they don't sign on a blueprint, they go ahead and when you're about to finish off, the project, then they say, that they have never said anything like this. They have not, they never communicated like this. So it is always very important that each phase, when both the party they sign in the document. In this case, both the party it is one is a consulting company and another is a client. So both the people should sign and then only go ahead with the another phase. So probably it is a good practice, when in each phase, all the phases, both the parties they sign, and then
Yeah.
only you move on to the another phase. Otherwise, they will change their words, and they will put the entire blame on you, and they will say it's like, they never communicated that way to you.
Yeah, that's true.
So
Every
that's a
time they
one of
keep changing the requirements.
every time they will keep on changing their requirement, and then they will say, that you have not done it, and like this, and so it becomes, so as a manager, and it should be the manager responsibility, but couple of times, even manager also don't do that. But as an individual, you should always be very particular about this, because there was a one project which I was doing it, and in that project, next month it was a go live.
Hmm.
And what happened, next month it was a go live, and when I joined that project, I realized that in payroll nothing was configured.
Hmm.
And can you believe it was a next month go live?
Yeah, and that is payroll. It's not like another module as well. That is the key
Right.
module.
That's a key module, the payroll. And here it is like, even 1 rupees you don't get it. People from any level, people, they will start coming back to you,
Complaint.
they will say their 1 rupee has been deducted, right?
Yes,
And
correct.
here nothing was configured. So when I joined this project, I joined with the with the intention that I was next month I was supposed to go into another project.
Hmm.
So when I joined in this project, then slowly and gradually they started giving to me. I realized, that there is no documentation at present. So it was kind of a, I have to literally struggle, to get the information and then what to show to them.
Yeah, I understand.
So right then that was a time, I realized that I'm actually into trap. They set up the entire trap for me, and I have fallen into the trap, into your this detail. So anyway, it is always a good practice to sign into the document. So learn from my experiences what I have done a mistake in my corporate,
Yeah, sure.
right?
Yeah.
So again, this is phase wise key delivery. All those documentation and everything which is required. Now, all these documentation and everything, I'll show you once we go ahead and start the training session. Because
Okay.
at this point of time, it will, otherwise it will, demo will become very lengthy, which I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the organization management. What is organization management, um, Harisha?
Organization management is basically deals with the org level, org structure like positions or units, job, cost center, the account assignment, and also like we have to link between the personal administration and the organizational management so that like we can assign the employees to the org unit and the positions.
That's true. That's true. Organization management is all about the company structure. Now, there's a one statement you have made, very interesting statement, that you have to link your PA to organization management. Now, let me ask you the question that can you implement the payroll without organization management in the company?
No, we cannot. I think.
Okay. But why we cannot?
Um, because like the cost center assignment is done to the org unit, right? So basically, the info type one is the main key for the payroll to run. Like the payroll area we store in the info type one, and the org cost center
Cost
position.
center
So.
can also be that is true. If you have the organization management, cost center you assign to organization management and position, right?
Mm,
Either of anything you can assign this, and this is actually a certification question. Now another detail it comes to be that cost center, let's suppose if you're not assigned into your organization management, organization unit or position, Then in personal administration, you can also use info type 27.
27. Yes, yes.
Right. Now let me ask you, reframe now in another way that if you can implement cost center, you can do that, maintain your data of the cost center in 227, then now why you need organization management?
Mm, then in that case, I think I don't require, because yeah, I don't require organization management. Personal area, because that is like enterprise
Yeah,
structure,
that
right?
is
So.
true. In that case, um, uh, now since when they buy the license, okay, let me put it in the other way. Now, let's suppose the organization is going ahead with the organization management, but they do not want to implement the personal administration. Now, can you go ahead and implement the payroll?
So they don't. So the question is like they want to implement organization management, but they don't want to implement personal
Personal
administration.
administration. I have reversed my question. First, I asked you in the
Hmm.
first question, it was organization management they don't want it. And in my
Hmm.
second question, I have asked you that they are going ahead with the organization management, but they don't want the personal administration. Then what to do? Can you implement payroll?
No, I mean like personal administration. Like then where we are going to create the employees and where we are going to maintain the data of them. Like I don't think we can implement if we don't have personal
Personal
administration.
administration is not only just about maintaining the data of an employee.
Yeah, the
It is
key, all
also
the key info types for the
yeah, all
employee
the
we are
key info
maintaining.
type. Which all info type you need? You just need the info type
Info
one
type 8,
action.
basic pay,
No, basic pay.
0.
It is no. That is a part of a payroll,
Okay, okay.
right? That is a part of a payroll. Time management. It is seven, which is a part of a time management. Right?
Yeah,
But when
yeah.
it comes to be into your info type personal administration, you just need the see, you don't need to maintain all the info type like family detail, qualification, education. Just the
Yes.
basic info type you need to maintain, which is zero,
0
one, and
and
two.
1. Yeah,
Is right. And
correct.
then probably you can even skip your personal administration also. So answer to both the question is yes.
Okay, understand.
All right. Now, I shouldn't be, I think, this is just a demo. I shouldn't be getting into so deep, but since you brought that topic into demo, so I thought, let me ask you.
Yeah, that's not a problem. But like still I'm not clear. Like so you're saying that like
I'll explain to
yeah,
you during when we'll
sure.
start with this session. At that point of time, I'll explain to you what actually I mean by that. Because when
Yeah.
we'll start, I'll give you by example how we
Mm-hmm.
can actually go ahead with that.
Okay. Sounds good.
Right. So this is your organization management, and you rightly said it is all about your organization structure. Now, every organization company will have their own structure. No two different company will have the same structure. So this is, and there are four tool where you can actually use to maintain the organization management. So it just tells you from the top to bottom and bottom to top how you can maintain your organization management. This is one of the structure we have maintained, where you can see in ABC India Private Limited, where they are present into Bangalore and Hyderabad. In Bangalore, you can see they have a IT division and they have a HR division. Under IT department, you can see they have a another organization unit which is IT manager. Under IT manager, they have this manager and this person who hold this position. His name is Coleman Mustard, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like this, you
Yeah.
can create all these your organization structure. And let me also show you your organization structure into system. So if we come here to your system, you will see your organization management. And so here you can see there is, on the left hand side, you can see these are the company which has been created here. And you can
Okay.
see it's like, and the company which is displaying here, which is known as the Apex Chemical Mech, right? Here you can see how it is starting. It is starting with a VP operations, CFO, and Meki. Now, if I unlock this one, you can see there's a lot of position has been created, right?
Mm,
Or
yes.
whoever has maintained that, they have done lots of hard work on this.
Yeah.
right? Because this is a demo system, right? So you can
Hmm.
see
Yeah,
it's not an
so much of
actual.
data.
There's so much of data, so whoever has done it, that person has done lots of hard work.
Yeah.
So not only just the organization unit and your position and the person, you can also see your job, task, and work center. So how you can see that? Let's see whether they have maintained this or not. So you need to select this go to and come to the task assignment. In your task assignment, you can see again if you unlock your all these section, if they've not maintained.
Yeah.
So anyway, they have not maintained. Let me see if they have any other area where they have maintained. I think the TCS will also have it. So here in TCS, if I come into your staff task assignment, so here they would have maintained. Now here you can see all these detail. Okay. Now you can see here all these section. Okay, some places they have maintained and some they have not maintained. Work center is still missing from it. So you can see this is your position. This a person is coming with a cap is actually the manager. Then this is a job. Then you can see this is a group of a task. The person has to do that, right? And who holds this person? The person name is Neelam Kohli, right? So this is how you will see into your organization and staffing, and you can actually go ahead and pull out all these report also based on that. But with the time constraint, I don't want to go ahead and do that. But then here is your personal administration. Personal administration, majority of the people think it's only just about maintaining data. It is not about just maintaining data. It is also about creating your action, creating your doing your all company link up to your personal area to sub area, assigning those detail to company code, creating your employee group and employee subgroup, linking all these detail, assigning various, creating your location and different department, all this detail comes into your personal administration. Then your dynamic action screen, enhancement which has to be done any. So there's a lot of activity, which has to be done into your personal administration.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we're going to cover all those detail into your personal administration. Now here you can see this is the screen what they have. This is your PA40 and where they have. Now it's also about to do all your policy, right? Like your hiring policy, retirement policy, leaving policy,
Hmm.
disciplinary action policy, termination policies. All those policy you will have to understand and bring that into your action. Then here you can see there is person who's getting actually hired whose name is Ravi, and you can see this person is getting hired, and probably you can go ahead and hire this person. So this is one of the screenshot we have taken. Now there will
Okay.
be multiple other also. Now here you can also go ahead and maintain database also. But then apart from this, there's a lot of other activity happens into your person, like assigning your administrator, creating your payroll area, doing your certain other configuration also, which is also creating your wage type and everything. So if all those detail, it becomes a part of a personal administration. However, when it comes to wage type, then people they pass on to the payroll person only.
Hmm.
But ideally, it is if you open the SAP SPRO, you will see all these. It becomes a part of a personal administration only, right?
Yeah.
Now, in time management, what is time management? Time management is nothing. It's just your the time a person is coming in and out. Now, in time management, there's a two kind of a time management, which is positive time management and a negative time management. Now, positive time management, it is when you're recording everything, what time the person has come, what time the person has taken break, and all the other break, and what time the person has left the organization. Negative time management, it is that when you only maintaining the record that a person, if a person is absent, then only you will maintain his absence. If you have not maintained anything, it will be assumed that person has been present throughout the month. Alright, but time data is actually important. Why it is important? Because to facilitate your payroll, if your person has been absent, you have to reduce the salary, right?
Yes.
Not only that, even your overtime, all those detail also it has to be calculated into your time management, correct?
Yes. Yes.
And these are the tool where you can actually go ahead and maintain your time management. Then let's come to the payroll, which is actually more interesting. So here you can see all your payroll. We're going to talk about how we can do your maintain the personal data and all these data for it. Then your attendance, your time management, then you run the payroll and pull out all these reports.
Hmm.
Then the factor influencing payroll, which is a basic pay, gratuity, sickness, your bonuses, leave, overtime, and all this. So all those detail we're going to see that. But preferably in the US, what happens, they have a very few salary component.
Okay.
So that, see, US payroll is not difficult, but their taxes are very difficult.
Yeah.
But then the good thing about it is, that their taxes are not configured into SAP system. Even if it is not configured into the SAP system, they are connected with a BSI. Then also
Hmm.
you need to know the how it is getting calculated, because tomorrow if somebody comes to you and
Hmm.
ask you how their salary is getting calculated, you should know the calculation how it's happening, right? So that is
Yes.
the
Yes.
reason those taxes detail. You should also know all these sections.
Hmm.
Then recurring payment and deduction, probably once we will start, we'll talk about the recurring payment and deduction. Then additional payment, anything additional payment like Holi is coming, so Holi bonus
Hmm.
or something, when you have that's an additional payment. Loan configuration, if there is any kind of a loan detail and everything, so you have the loan configuration. So all these section in detail. Then you have a membership fees. So if there
Hmm.
is any kind of a membership fees, which is getting paid. I remember, long time back, I joined a company very long time back, and that time, see, nowadays all Indian IT company, they will have their gym and all these facility and everything. But that point
Okay.
of time, it was IT company was growing day by day and year by year. So that
Mm-hmm.
time they used to have a very beautiful building that time also. But one of my company, they gave us they said that if you have your any gym nearby, you can join, and then probably what you can do, you can get it reimbursed.
Mm.
So in that case, that kind of a membership actually becomes very important, and you can actually go ahead and do all your those membership detail and everything. So similarly, you can maintain all your those area. Off cycle payment. What is off cycle payment? Let's suppose we just talked about Holi, right? So in this case,
Hmm.
let's assume there are 100 people in the company, and you have maintained a Holi payment to all 99 people, but by mistake you missed out one person payment.
Hmm.
Okay. So in that case, rather than stopping everybody's salary, what you can do, you can maintain those data with the off cycle.
Okay.
Okay. So we'll discuss about this, how to configure and how to run all these detail. Retroactive accounting, it is nothing. It's just your area where you have your section of, like for example, let's suppose your appraisal, you have completed your 12-month in a company and your appraisal has to happen. Now, in your appraisal, now normally, in the US financially, which starts from the January to December, right?
Hmm.
So to process your payment, some organization, they will be very good and they will process all the detail and everything, and they'll pay you in the month of January only. But then some organization, what they do, they will start their process in January only, and by the time March will come, and then they will pay you. So in
Hmm.
that case, when they're paying you in the March, then they have to do the retro from the month of January, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Because then you're applicable. So that is actually the retroactive.
Hmm.
Anyway, this is only just a demo. Don't worry about this. Even if you did not understand any particular topic and anything, once we go ahead, we'll focus more into detail and the configuration then.
Okay.
This is a US salary which has been taken. So here you can see there is one salary which is coming here, and this is only the majority of the time, almost like
Hmm.
uh, 80% people, they'll have only one salary component, one or two salary component. That's it.
Okay.
All right. So unlike in India, you have a lots of salary component, right? But in
Hmm.
US, you have only one salary component. That makes it very, but the taxes is the one area, which is the most complex into your US bill. And you have a payroll overview. You can see all these detail, which contributes to your payroll. And moving in, these are the statutory deduction. So some of the, I have taken it for the India, but uh, those reports and everything. I'll show you, and this is your another A section. Now we have a recruitment, as we said, that there's a difference between recruitment and e-recruitment, but we're going to focus only on the recruitment, where we're going to have the vacancy, advertisement, applicant, and internal solicited or unsolicited. If you have been selected, then you move that person to your personal administration and you're hired into the company. So all those processes, I'll show that to you. And then you have a report. Report again is actually very important. So these are the kind of a report we have. We have the standard report, his report, manager, desktop, ad hoc query. Out of these report, the standard report and the ad hoc query, which is most used,
Hmm.
and all these section, we'll talk once the report topic it comes into the actual session.
Okay.
Then PCR schema, this is the most important for the topic, and in fact, you also mentioned that into the call yesterday. So
Yeah.
let's talk about your PC. And we said, that PCI schema, we're going to cover everything. And I'll tell you those PCI schema, what is PCR, what is schema, what is sub schema, how it is, how it works, how do we make changes, how do we configure all this, how do we create PCR. So some scenario we're going to take it based
Mm-hmm.
on the US scenario, and I'm going to configure that, and I'll show that to you, and how the result will also come. That all those detail I'll show that to you. Okay.
Okay.
Now here you can see this is a PCR, how you write your PCR and everything. Now these are the very complex PCR where they
Mm-hmm.
have gone ahead and they have written all these details. But when this topic it will come, once we are doing the payroll, I'll show you how to create a PCR and how to incorporate that into your sub schema, and later sub schema it can be incorporated to your PCR.
So you will be going to show me like some business scenario, like,
Yes.
right? Okay.
I'll show you some of the business scenario where you can actually go ahead and we'll take up some scenario for schema and PCR, and
Mm-hmm.
then I'll tell you why we cannot go ahead with the standard configuration and why we have to come to create a PCR, right? So all
Yeah,
those
correct.
details we'll discuss about into your PCR when we're going to come into that topic.
Okay.
Now garnishment we already talked about into detail,
Mm-hmm.
and so you have your garnishment and everything. So here you can see all your garnishment detail and everything it is coming, so I'm not discussing much. Benefit is another area. So you have your health insurance, savings, stock purchase, credit, miscellaneous, and flexible benefit plan and everything. So here you can see all those benefit detail and everything. So same way you will have to go ahead and configure all these benefit and everything into your USA payroll, and starting with them. And in fact, benefit is one of the topic, where there's a lot of configuration which is required. So in
Yes.
that case, there's a lot of configuration which has to happen into the benefit, and that's where but I find it quite interesting in that way also. So
Hmm.
this is your the PPT which we have just discussed about this, and then apart from this, let me show you something in the system also, since you're more interested into your payroll part of it. So let me show you into the payroll part of it. Now, since here we're going to talk about America payroll. Now, in the USA payroll, you can see here all these your transaction code which is there, and you can see we're going to also talk about how you can run payroll, how you can do the bank transfer, how you will be doing the posting part of it. So
Mm-hmm.
all those details we will take up the scenario and we're going to cover into your all these section, right? So
Okay.
you can see there are various step it is there, right? So how we can actually go ahead and process all these steps. So we will do that. Then you also have a posting. Now, what is posting? See, posting is actually your day-to-day, like for example, see your balance sheet and profit and loss account, which is there. How the finance team prepare the balance sheet and profit and loss account based on the salary of an employee and all those other expenses, right? Which are
Hmm.
incorporated into your balance sheet. And so all these expenses, which is coming from the payroll side of it, we after running the payroll, we have to post it to the finance. And once
Yes.
finance receive that, then only they get all this information. So all those section in detail, I will show that to you. Okay.
Okay.
Then let me show you. So here you can see this posting detail. It is coming. So all these. posting configuration that first we'll have to maintain, and the last posting detail. You can come and check it out here. Let me show you in your payroll result also. So there's a transaction code which is PC payroll result, and once uh,
It is PC underscore pay result, right?
okay, yeah, right, it is PC underscore pay result. So once you come into this one, and let's suppose if you want to see the payroll for, I think recently I've run it for somebody, and here this person was actually, this person female is actually in Australia, and very recently, we have done it. So here you can see how, we have run the payroll, and if you want to see all these result and component and everything, so here you can see all result, your HRA, PTEX, and how you can go ahead and run all those details. This is your result table. So how
Mm-hmm.
you can view all these area and everything, where you can see all the result table and everything. In this section, it is coming here. So all your calculation and everything, you can see how your no, these forward slash is actually your technical wage type,
Hmm.
and these wage type are system generated. Okay, so
Yeah.
let's focus more on the the custom wage type. So here you can see there's a basic salary and then your bonus which is getting calculated. And since we were doing it for the so here you can see all these little bonus and your salary, and based on all these calculation, your entire salary has been configured into the system. Now you can see this is a net pay which is 560. This is the amount that this person is actually taking home.
Mm-hmm.
All right. You also have this your valuation basis 001 and 00. These are actually very important when it comes to your PCR and schema. The valuation basis 001, this is actually your hourly base salary, it gets calculated, and 002, it gets calculated your day salary. Okay.
Okay. Hmm.
So we will discuss about all these detail, how to understand, how to read, how to run payroll, and how to see all these calculation and everything. So you can see all the bases also. It is very important. Majority of a thing, it's like it's also gets calculated on your basis. If you are in India, then there is accumulation, and all these waste type which is getting accumulated. So all these accumulations, so you can see it is getting accumulated into your yearly. This is monthly, and this C stands for. Uh, okay, this C stands for. I don't remember what actually C stands for. One is monthly, quarterly, and yearly, half yearly. Oh, I'll have to see it's like what actually C actually stands for. So here you can see it's like how your result table is getting accumulated, and how your all these data and everything, you can go ahead and do all your configuration and everything. Then you can also see your income taxes, how your income taxes and everything it is coming. Now, specifically, when you are running payroll for USA, in that case, it happens via your BSI.
Hmm.
So we will also talk about the BSI configuration and how this, tax update bulletin, which is top, how those details are maintained, how those sections are configured. So all these detail and everything, we will talk into your payroll part of it.
So you're going to tell me like the all the tax reporter as well, right? The tax reporter, W-2, different types of
Yes,
forms.
yes. All those details we will discuss into your once we'll start doing the configuration. We're going to talk about all these detail and everything. And then there is also a report. Let me show you the report also. Wherever you see those info system, right? This is actually the report.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so wherever
Hmm.
you see all this, and so here you can see all this payroll result and everything, general wage type reported and everything which is coming. These are actually your, now these are the taxes report and everything. You can see W for withholding allowance, report is coming up here. So if you want to pull out anything, in your report, you can actually take it out from your all these detail here, which is coming. And now similarly, when you run all your those detail and everything, and you can, I mean, you can see there are various countries, but out of which majority of the time, you'll be actually working on the either for a majority of a project, which actually comes from India and from the USA only. That's where the majority of your payroll should be actually done and configured.
Mm-hmm.
Then, apart from this, you also have your, let me take you to your SPRO. And in SPRO, where this is the area where you're going to do all these configuration. All right. So we talked about your personal administration, your personal management. And this you can see your personal administration. So
Hmm.
here you can see your personal administration. Now you can also see your organization management here. So if anything has to be configured into your organization management, this is the area where you're going to configure it. But normally we don't do that. Majority of the thing it is already available into the standard thing.
Hmm.
Then this is your personal administration. So here you're going to see your basic setting, your personal data, organization data, your payroll data. Payroll data, which we just talked about, all those wage type and salary component and everything. So in this
Hmm.
section, you're going to go ahead and do all these configurations like your basic pay, your your recurring payment and deduction, your additional payment, your off cycle, right? Your membership fees, which is there anything. So all these, your this area we're going to configure. And however, your payroll with the country specific is down. So here you can see your payroll. And since we're talking about the US payroll, let's talk about the US payroll. So here we have your US payroll, and in this US payroll, you can see all these garnishment, tax, benefit integration, right? If you
Hmm.
have configured benefit, if you want to integrate it with payroll, so here this is the area you can go ahead and configure all these detail.
Okay.
All right, now with this, I will stop my demo. Um, so Arisha, so if you let me know if you have any question.
No, actually, like you said, like you are going to cover all the things in the main session, right? Like all the processing, all the process models, processing class, everything, right? The
Right, right.
wage type.
Yes,
So
yes.
you
Previous,
are going to tell me the main wage types and technical
EBPs,
wage types.
yes, yes. All those details we will cover into your once we start. See, at this point in time, it won't make any sense to tell you all that, right?
Yeah. That's true. That's true. I'm like just make sure that like you are going to cover all these topics.
Yes, yes. I'll cover. That's a part of a payroll. If you don't cover into payroll, then it becomes actually a bit, um, uh, you know, incomplete. So you have to, when we start with, I start with the schema and pieces. So in that section, I already cover into your all those detail. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine then.
Right. So how soon you want to start the session?
I mean, I want to start as soon as possible. Like next week also, I'm fine. If you can start the session from next week onwards, I'm fine. Like the coming week.
So, all right. So you want the session from Monday to Friday, or okay? And anyway, I'll
Hmm.
that's something which we can discuss that on the phone also.
Okay.
Or maybe, let me just stop the recording. We
Yeah.
can